Meta-ethics. Meta-ethics is a branch of ethics that seeks to understand the nature of ethical properties, statements, and attitudes and judgments. Meta-ethics is concerned with determining the nature of judgments of moral right or wrong, good and bad. It is not concerned with finding out which actions or things are right and wrong, or which states are good and bad, but with understanding the nature and meaning of concepts of right and wrong, good and bad. Metaethics does not ask whether lying is always wrong. It tries to ascertain whether there really is difference between right and wrong, or tries to clarify what it means to say that an action is right or wrong. There are two branches of metaethics, the cognitivism and non-cognitivism. First, the cognitivism. Cognitivism, there are moral facts. When we make a moral claim or judgment, we are expressing a belief that can be verified. When the non-cognitivism is there are no moral facts. When we make a moral claim or judgment, we are expressing something else, our approval. The key theories in meta-ethics, the naturalism, non-naturalism, the emotivism, and prescriptivism. First, the naturalism and non-naturalism believe that moral language is cognitive and can be known to be true or false. Emotivism. Emotivism deny that moral utterances are cognitive, holding that they consist of emotional expressions of approval or disapproval, and that the nature of moral reasoning and justification must be reinterpreted to take these essential characteristics of moral utterances into account. And prescriptivism take a somewhat similar approach, arguing that moral judgments are prescriptions or prohibitions of action, rather than a statement of fact about the world.
Normative ethics. Normative ethics is the one of three main component areas of inquiry of philosophical ethics, the two other being meta-ethics and applied ethics. Normative ethics. The word normative is an adjective which from norm and philosophical context, the word norm usually means standard or rule or principle, as opposed to what is normal, for people to do what they actually do. For example, the rules of arithmetic are normative in the philosophical sense because reasoning can be used against this rule and judged correct or incorrect, irrespective of whether this usage is the normal usage. Normative ethics also, as normative theory or moral theory, instead to find out which actions are right and wrong or which character traits are good and bad. Normative ethics is a concern with moral norms. A moral norm is a norm in the sense of being standard with which moral agents ought to comply. An example of moral norms: "Thou shalt not murder." It is meant to guide our action, and to extent that people do not comply, we may be judged morally, that is morally blamed. Normative ethics example. Number 1. It is wrong to kill people just because they make you angry. Number 2. We should fight to free slaves when necessary, even when doing is illegal. Number 3. It is reasonable for a person to give charity to those in need, even if no reciprocation should be expected. Number 4. My dad was a man of integrity. Normative ethics example is our primary concern in the text. Important normative theories. Normative theories are concerned with broadly the nature, right, action, and the nature of virtue, All normative theories will have something to say about which action are right and which state of character are virtue. For normative theories, altruism, Kantianism, ethical, and Antonism, virtue ethics.
Apply ethics. The terms apply ethics and practical ethics are used interchangeably to indicate the application of ethics to special arenas of human activity, such as a business, politics, and medicine, and particular problem such as abortion. Apply ethics is a discipline of philosophy that attempts to apply ethical theory to real-life situations. The line of distinction between meta-ethics and applied ethics are often blurry. For example, the issue of abortion can be seen as an applied ethic topic since it involves specific types of conversational behavior. It can also depend on more general normative principles such as a possible rights of self-rule and right to life, principles which are often most test for determining the morality of procedure. The issue also sits on meta-ethic issues such as where do right come from and what kind of being have right. Apply ethics is used in determining public policy. For example, the following will be question of apply ethics. Is euthanasia immoral? Is affirmative action right or wrong? And the last, what are human rights and how do we determine them, and do animals have rights as well? A more specific question could be, if someone else can make better out of his her life that I can, is the moral to sacrifice myself for them if ended? But with this question, there is no clear fulcrum on which balance law, politics, and the practice of aversion in fact. No common assumption of all participants' ability to formulate the question are the prior to rights balancing.